As the COVID-19 pandemic wreaks havoc across the globe, the world seems to be caught up into yet another pandemic, this time gender-based violence. According to statistics, more than 100,000 women reported various forms of abuse in 2021, which include underage marriages, sexual exploitation, and physical abuse being predominant. On the 25th of November, the Parliament of Zimbabwe was lit into orange in commemoration of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. But is the country serious about protecting women and girls?
Harassed by the police, we don't have protection from the police and the judicial system. Our system is captured. You find even if today a woman is raped, if they go to institutions like police and they want to report their case, ava vakarepwa chimbomira yapa varohwa nemurume imbomira yapa, there is no that thoroughness yekuti people are handling things professionally.
Mary Chiwenga, estranged wife to the Vice President and Minister of Health. Anna Machaya, wife to the Marangi son who died giving birth at a shrine. These names are easily remembered because they made it in the news. But the reality is, 1 out of 3 girls go through abuse, whether physical or psychological.
We received almost an increase of 56% of gender-based violence cases, and throughout the year we doubled the cases of GBV. 2019 we recorded slightly above 20,000, and in 2020 we recorded around 40,000 cases of gender-based violence.
The streets are not safe, neither are their bedrooms. They get harassed from combi operators to police officers. Some men of power use their influence to thwart these budding voices.
The issue of power and abuse of state office are the reasons mainly that are causing gender-based violence. The economic decline and decay of our economy is also the cause of gender-based violence, as we are talking at the society level. But at the political level, you find that there is abuse of power, there is dominance, there is patriarchal, and there is the issue of people abusing the office. I'll speak to the case of Mary Chiwenga, for example. I'll stick to her rights because she's got a right of movement. She's got a right to health care.
We don't support each other. We don't support each other, but let's see. Let's see. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Despite her charges, she has been denied access to her kids, medication, and her accounts.
I want my children. I've not seen my children in more than 2 years.
Yeah, it becomes very difficult because a case which normally involves high-profile people always develop cold feet because of some reasons that I'm not privy to disclose. The high-profile people, what do you think I would say as a female member of parliament, as the deputy chairperson of the Zimbabwe female parliamentarians? What will I say?
We drove to rural Uzumba to talk to one victim who killed her husband in self-defense. She was living a miserable life full of abuse and torture. Her story is one of the many untold stories in the community we are living in.
Marriage yangu yanga yakaoma asi semunhu ndaishingirira kuzvishandira zvaita sezvinhu zvakandinakira. Vanhu vanoona vaiona sekunge ndakagara zvakanaka ndinoitirwa zvese nemurume.
The justice system is not that rotten after all. After suffering in the hands of her late husband, she was left without an option but to take him out in a defense mode. She spent time in prison awaiting trial. After a year of frequenting the courts, she was acquitted. But the trauma of the ordeal, trial, and rejection by the society is still with her.
zvakaoma zvinotorwadza kuzvitsanangura.
In a normal society where there is respect of human rights and dignity, that could not have happened. In Zimbabwe, beside the challenge of access to justice for victims of gender-based violence, girl child marriages are also on the rise. Culture and religion have been blamed for fueling the practice.
We are largely a patriarchal society where we have male privileges, we have hegemonic masculinities, where the man is the head of the household, the man has the power over the woman, and those beliefs have fueled gender-based violence. When you are looking at children, we have toxic cultural relations that we have carried over, things like Chiramu, things like Kuripangosi. All those cases compounds GBV, and we have seen that it's not going away. Even in our modern relationships, we now have modern GBV.
Custodians of culture in Zimbabwe disagrees with women organizations.
I want to reiterate the point that we have made before as traditional leaders, that our cultures and traditions do not condone gender-based violence. I am aware there are misconceptions. Some groups think culture promotes gender-based violence. Such attitudes to us are a sign of a person who is not properly rooted and knowledgeable about culture. In whether it's Sindebele, Shona, Nambia, across the country and even beyond Zimbabwe, it is within our traditional values. The
term gender refers to both male and female, but this year's theme is silent on the male victims.
You must understand, gender is not women. It's the two sexes, male and female. And you know that a lot, even social media, has happened to the boy child at the end of the day. We talk about the girl child at the end of the day. What about the boy child as well? The boy child has suffered. As a result, women are suffering abuse. They're being beaten up by women in their homes and so forth. So that must not allow to happen. So it has got to be aligned. Any gender aspect must be aligned to males too, so that we're able to deal with it once and for all.
Gender-based violence impacts the well-being of individuals, societies, and nations. After listening to victims and experts, it's evident that across the divide, the virus is spreading quickly, leaving a trail of disaster in our society. And measures have to be done, not only during the 16 days of activism, but daily.
I think there's a lot that has to be done from the societal perspectives. We need societal, legal reforms and structural reforms. Now, on societal reforms, I think everyone has to be aware of the Constitution and the rights that each woman carries, the dignity and the worth of every human being. And if we raise awareness, collaborating with all stakeholders, collaborating with the men and the boys to come on board and fight GBV, I think we can go as far as we would like to see peaceful homes in our society.
And we need to take it to levels where probably we need to introduce from a lower base a curriculum that teaches even the young people, because now they're living in a society where there is violence and it becomes a culture. So we need to introduce a curriculum and it be put in a syllabus that, you know, the Constitution must be known, the rights of the people must be known, the rights of the women, they should know, even at a younger level, so that we start grooming a society that respects our Constitution, a society that respects women, so that they don't continue to enforce the same culture that is happening.
It has been estimated to cost the world more than 5% of global GDP. It's greater than war, from acid attacks to poisoning, discrimination to intimidation. People around the world are being threatened, harassed, attacked, and killed purely based on their gender.